Hotep the artist, or Candace Walker. Hotep is sort of your alter artistic ego. And you are a universal artist. And this includes actress, poet, pantomime artist. How do you manage it?
The more time I spend alone is like the more things I discover I can do. You know, I start to remember things like, oh yeah, I did used to sing, or I could try that, you know, and I keep challenging myself. So I think it's a lot of alone time.
Now, is Hotep the artist another name for you, or is she a alter artistic ego?
Hotep is the name I took on when I was just learning about ancient Egypt, just learning what the world was about, learning like the big picture. And I found Imhotep, and Imhotep is the first poet, philosopher, architect, surgeon. And I felt like, and it means he who comes in peace, or the one who comes in peace. And I know that peace is my favorite word, so that's the name, but the power that's behind it, it allows Candace, who I've been born to be, gives her the push, like go ahead, be your best, go ahead. It's like the permission. So that's why I allow people to call me Hotep, because it also gives me permission to go in.
And you gravitate a lot towards poetry, spoken word, and pantomime.
Yeah.
And those, I think, in some ways, pantomime is its own art, very separate from poetry. Do you find common threads between the two of them?
I feel like mime is a poetry, because sometimes there's a song involved. If there's like a song in the background and the mime is using the words of the song to illustrate something visual, something emotional that can be felt. And I feel like poetry uses the words of the world, uses all the words, and creates its own moment. So mime creates its own moment in a song that already exists, and poetry creates a moment in words that already exist.
What first brought you to the art of pantomime?
I was in church, and there was a twin duo. I guess that's the same thing, you know, twins are duos now.
Is that a term? Is that what they're calling twins?
There's two of them.
Like, oh, so-and-so just gave birth to a duo. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, there's two of them.
I am so not with it.
Yeah.
Well, so Hallmark is going to come out with cards. Congratulations on your duo.
On your duo, because especially if they perform. So they perform. They actually graduated from Westinghouse here in Pittsburgh, but they came to my church and they mimed to a song, a gospel song. And I must have been, 8 or 9 watching them. And then I grew up and I grew up to 15. And I saw a woman at church, and I caught her afterwards. I was the only one standing in the whole audience, like, what was that? And I spoke to her afterwards, and she taught me how to mime, and I started doing solo mime since I was 15. So it was something always to gospel. And then when I realized how big the world was, I was like, wait a minute, what was Marcel doing again? Let me take this and put it outside of the church, and let's reach the people. So I'll go downtown.
But pantomime to gospel is something I've never seen. I would like to see that, actually.
Yeah, it's coming. I mean, it's on YouTube.
It's out there?
It's on YouTube. Everybody's doing it.
Do you still do that?
Absolutely.
Do you bring that to your repertoire?
Absolutely. I do. I definitely do a lot of gospel. I understand the message of gospel. I understand the places that it reaches. And now I'm putting them together. I'm helping the church step out of, their boundaries, and helping mimes also understand, the secular mime world, understand what it is within the church.
The secular mime world. You are bridging bridges between territories I never even imagined needed a bridge. Hotep does bring peace. She does.
Yeah.
You're living up to the motto. That's awesome.
They tell me you can't have peace. I've heard people say there's no such thing as peace. you can't have peace without war. And you can't have peace without battle. And I actually agree with that. I feel like the reason I'm allowed to be Hotep is because of the battles of life that I've been able to conquer. So it's like, oh, I know peace. Because I've known war. I've known some real stuff. So when I help, women of domestic violence or, child abuse, just different organizations that I'm able to reach where it hurts, I know that it's being effective because I've had to go through some things to become this character.
So you had said earlier, just when we were talking off camera, that bringing peace is a big part of everything that you do, whether it be your spoken word, your poetry, or your pantomime. Have you seen effects of your performances on your audiences in terms of peace that you may have brought?
There's always, let me think. One of the last performances I did was Martin Luther King Jr. speech, and it was called Better. And they had me do it for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and it was at a church. And I started the way he speaks and the bringing back. I didn't take on his mannerisms, but I more so illustrated what he was trying to prove. Rather than saying, turn the other cheek, it was more so like getting smacked. And being able to take that smack and knowing why nonviolence, why this. So I'm carrying the stories of this is an old black church, and so they're experiencing it, but they've never once experienced a mime with Martin Luther King Jr. So those types of messages that I get to bring are expanding even I guess when it comes to time, it's expanding the time of, the older people coming with the younger people who may understand, I see mime before. Little kids practice, mime in the church and things like that. But I think when the bridges start to be connected, it's happening with the older and the young. I mime to hip hop. I'll go to the club and mime to Lil Wayne, How to Love, because he had one song that was actually congruent with ideas about love. And so
just one.
Just one. Just one. I found one. And I think that's what it helps people say, that there's more. That's the point, that there's more. There's more to this. So
who are your heroes?
My heroes. One of my heroes is definitely, my parents are my heroes, and it's because they're still together, and they're still walking the path of leadership. They're entrepreneurs, they're talented, and all of that. So I know my parents are a hero. That is a real question.
You gave a great answer, I thought. It doesn't get any safer than saying mom and dad. All right,
Mom and dad, they're
we
heroes.
could go with that.
Yeah.
I know I'm in trouble if I don't answer that way. Okay, I get a phone call before the interview's even over.
They've shown support. They've shown unconditional love, and if anything, I've learned that unconditional love is a way to get through the battles in life. So if I've gotten through this through their example of unconditional love, I know that's why I'm here.
We at Burgh Vivant salute you. We can never have enough peace.
Oh, thank you.